Next, we have our next panel session, the CX-led digital transformation becoming future ready. And before I call on the honorable panel members who are experts in the subject matter, I would like to highlight few points of discussion this powerful panel is going to talk on. Current digital transformation trends in customer experience, the impact of emerging technologies on CX excellence, how will AI transform customer engagement, and many more. So without taking any further time of yours, please help me welcome the honorable panel members with a big round of applause. Joining us first, Mr. Mathur Vadadoriya, CTO from LKP Securities. A big welcome to Mathurji. Please take your seat, sir, and welcome to the panel. Joining next, we have Mr. Arindam de Sarkar, DGM, Service Excellence and Hospitality, Woodlands Multispeciality Hospital. A big round of applause to Arindamji. Welcome to the panel. Please have your seat, sir. Joining next, we have Ms. Sreemoyee Dastidar, COE Lead Customer Experience from Philips. A big round of applause to Sreemoyee. Welcome to the panel, madam. Please have your seat. Joining next in this panel, we have Mr. Nikhil, Asopa, Senior Vice President and Head of Customer Service, Tata Digital. A big round of applause to Nikhil. Nikhil, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Mr. NATARAJAN, PONNUSWAMY, General Manager, Shriram Finance. A big round of applause to NATARAJAN-ji. Welcome to the panel. Please have your seat, sir. Joining next, we have Mr. Abiesh Jose, Head of Customer Service Quality, ESAF Small Finance Bank. A big round of applause to Abiesh. Abiesh, welcome to the panel. Please have your seat. Joining next, we have Mr. Balaji Srinivasan, Executive Director and Chief Technology Officer from DreamFolks. A big round of applause to Mr. Srinivasan. Welcome to the panel, sir. Please have your seat. And now I would like to call on stage the honorable moderator for this panel, Ms. Archana Sinha, Customer Experience Lead for Home Business from Jio Platforms. A big round of applause to Archana ji. Welcome to the panel, madam. Please have your seat. So we've got a fantastic panel here. So Archana, over to you. And I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic panel session.
Thank you so much. I hope I'm audible. So welcome to panel 6, I think 1.5 days of digital transformation. I think it's too much for everybody to consume. And this 45 minutes, we are going to focus on how practically we can actually adopt digital transformation in the CX. And so we will be sharing the examples, use cases, and the stories. Setting the context, with the current pace of digital evolution, what we see is that today customers are used to getting what they want and when they want. The expectation is no less prevalent when it comes to their favorite brands. And if we look at the companies which have adopted digital transformation, as per the research, around stunning 70% of the organizations either have a digital strategy in place or they are in the process of implementing one. Now, interestingly, if we look at the research, it's the customers who are driving this seismic change, and the organizations are trying to keep the pace. Here, I will not take too much time. I just want to read the quote of a Amazon founder, who said very beautiful thing about customers. So if you actually make a customer unhappy in a physical world, they might tell 6 friends, but the number multiplies. If you make the customer unhappy in the digital space, the number moves from 6 to 6,000. So that is a very relatable point. And with that context, we'll start the panel discussion, the question number 1. And I welcome the august panel members here who are from the very diverse organizations. So moving to the first one. Today, digital transformation is changing the way organization operates. Okay? System, process, culture, everything is part of that. What do you think are the current emerging trend of digital transformation in the CX arena, and how are the organizations using them for sustained success? I would like to invite thoughts from Sreemoyee, followed by Mr. Srinivasan and Mr. Mathur. Yeah.
Hello. Great. I think I'm audible, right? So this is an excellent question, Archana, because I don't know what has gone on for 1.5 days so far, but I think you must have touched upon these. And what I want to absolutely emphasize is that what I'm going to share as trends, I hope it resonates with you, because it can't be that these are the top trends and you haven't felt it as a consumer, as a CX professional either. So when I started thinking about this question, there are 10 plus trends actually, but if I'm looking at the impact on consumers, then I think the topmost trend is personalization at scale. And what I mean by that is how various companies, various industries are tracking user behavior, user preferences, and tailoring their solutions to best meet that. So I think that has been one of the major proponents of how digital transformation is being, kind of continuing right now. The second one that I can think of is, multiple people already spoke about this earlier, omni-channel support, right? So we have come from a background of where we had to pick up the phone. There would be like 20 minutes of wait time, and only that, no matter how frustrated you are or if it's a life and death thing, it doesn't matter, that's the only channel. So we have evolved a long way from that, multiple channels, 24/7 availability, accessibility. So I think we are a little bit spoiled as a customer nowadays. So that's, again, a very important trend. And then the third one, in the interest of keeping it short, is AI-powered customer service. Again, this is, whether it is your voice assistant, whether it is your, the chatbots that we have on almost every domain that we interact with on a daily basis. I think we are seeing that customer service, whenever it is the FAQ type of, questions, it is being taken up by the chatbots, and I think it's a very sustainable, trend, which is helping keep all the industries competitive.
All right, so we'll, thanks Sreemoyee. We'll move to Mr. Mathur.
Hello. Yeah, so I belongs to stockbroking industry, and I would just like to add upon what my panel members have said. So basically, in stockbroking industries, gone are the days when people used to fill up onboarding forms manually, and it used to take a couple of days to open the accounts with any brokers. Nowadays, the entire onboarding journey has been completely digitalized, and thanks to government, now we can use a DigiLocker kind of concept where we can, on real-time basis, we can verify the KYC process. And even banks have also come up with penny drop APIs wherein we can verify customers' bank details, bank account details. And similarly, nowadays, our regulators have also come up with a digitalized DDPI concept, which has replaced the earlier PO, power of attorney concept, wherein physical form was required to fill up from the customers. So this is how the entire onboarding journey has been digitalized, and nowadays any customer can be onboarded in just a couple of minutes. Similarly, if I talk about transactional activities, so basically in stockbroking we offer trading in stock market, mutual funds, IPOs. So all entire this gamut of transactions has been just given to the fingertip of the customers by way of mobile applications and web applications. And at the last, even support, if I talk about support areas, so we have implemented AI-enabled chatbots wherein customers can get their common financial queries resolved on real-time basis. So these are the couple of examples like how we have used digital transformations to improve customer journey in our industry. Thank you.
So please go ahead.
All right. So I think it's the trends are actually spot on, but I think what is probably more interesting is how these are practically applied in real life to a different industry. So just to explain what we do, we are into airport services, and to put it simply, when you, for example, go into a lounge, the benefits of each and every card member is actually managed by us for the banks. So we are the, let's say, the largest provider of the such services. More than 90% of India's transactions goes through us. And we are a B2B player. You may or may not have heard of us. We recently went public a year ago. And all these things that you're talking about, personalization, chatbot, making it specific to the particular user becomes very, very difficult because our customer is actually the bank. So think of any bank you can think of, they are all my clients. But so when I go to a large bank and then try to tell them that, this is what you should do, they say, sure. But in some areas, banking is very ahead with digital, transactions. But in some other areas, it may or may not be that far ahead in terms of experience and personalization. So for us, we can't just solve the problem of my immediate client. I need to go one step further and then try to solve the problem of my client's consumer. So I'll just give you a couple of examples. So recently, you may have seen that there are digital kiosks that are set up at airports, where you can just go take your bank card, tap the card on that kiosk, and that gives you a charge slip. You can bypass the line at the lounge and directly go to the front of the line and get access. So this is more from an industry level we are trying to solve the problem. It is not specifically the bank's problem. It is not specifically the airport's problem. But it is a larger consumer journey problem. Okay? Then there is a product called Web Access, where you don't need to stand in line. You can, for example, you can do a flight web check-in. Same way you can do a web check-in for lounge access. So again, this is adopted by all the banks. And one observation for us is that even if we build a very superbly beautiful, great experience, great fluid app, nobody will download an app just to get into a lounge. So sure, but is there really a problem that we are trying to solve? So what we do is that we sell this technology to the banks. The banks can embed this into their own app. So all the banks, what they're doing is they're taking our tech, they're building the consumer journey, and we suggest a journey for them. And that's the way we are trying to solve the experience for the end consumer, rather than us pushing something that is very, very specific to us. We are enabling our clients to build the best experience for their end consumers.
Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan. Mr. Mathur, I think very, very relevant examples from your own specific domain. Now, moving to the next one, if we look at the emerging technologies, whether it's IoT, it's AI, it's AR, VR, these are rapidly maturing, and they are creating opportunities for forward-looking organizations. What do you think these technologies, in terms of impact, on the CX excellence, and which you would like to actually discuss or share with our audience today? And we'll start with Nikhil, with you.
Thank you so much. So first of all, anything on digital or new technology has become a subject of every conference or every event where we all go, right? And rightly so, because things are changing. You mentioned about those old days when we used to be on the calls for long, and then omni-channel came and all that stuff. But more importantly, I think the success of digital technology in customer experience has also created some negativity around, where people have started calling it as a villain. I was in one of the conference and they said, okay, is AI a villain? And why we'll not have a human experience and human touch, okay, while we interact with our customers. So let me clarify that myth. From my perspective, it is not. Okay, it is the biggest enabler which we have got. Okay, and I'll tell you how. So Tata Digital, we launched our India's first super app last year in April. And we started off our journey with a menu-based bot. It was a chat bot. We started off with that, and it was very successful. But we realized it is more of for answering certain set of standard questions, okay, like in FAQs and so forth. Gradually, we realized it is important for us to give a very good experience to our customers, and we went this January, which is 6, 7, 8, 9 months back, to an AI bot. Now what AI bot does it gives the flexibility to the customer not to basically depend on a menu-based question, but it also you can ask a question in any language, in any shape and form, and you will get an answer. Of course, the journey was started off with little difficulty because a bot takes time to understand those queries, though we had done some good testing. Today, I can tell you, of all my chats which I get it on a bot, AI bot, 73% of it is solved by a bot. Only 27% is reflected across categories. And understand, Tata Digital is a company which has a super app across all categories. We have groceries in the form of Big Basket. We have pharmacy, 1mg. We have hotels, the Taj example which you saw. Okay, we have electronics, we have fashion, you name it, all categories. And across all these, and financial services, by the way, right? So across all these categories, the AI bot services 73%, okay, of the queries being answered, okay? And to be specific, financial services, and again, to be more specific than financial services, the credit card queries. So we have launched a Tata new credit card along with HDFC. 96% of the queries on that credit card are solved by the bot. So things are moving, okay? Let me give you another example. We all all have social media platforms. People do correspond to us on social media. Today, so we started again this journey 6 months back. We get almost around, close to around 5,000 to 10,000 posts every month, okay, on our Tata New official handle. Every response, what you see it, okay, what we give a response as a part of our response management team is generated by AI. Not a single response is generated by a human. Okay. The only thing what we do is, there is a check mechanism today because we would like to be a little more careful when we respond to it. But the generation of response on everything, on every post, every tweet which a person sends, which a customer sends on our handle is done by ChatGPT. Okay. So that is the adoption of technology which we have had it, and it has been a tremendous success. The last element where I fully agree that, okay, there are certain areas where you need to basically bring a human angle. There needs to be an empathy which has to be with the customer, and that is where we have, of course, our partners who are helping us in that. So net, to summarize my answer, what I'm trying to say is that AI is very important, digital technologies are very important, we are using them, and they have been of immense use to us. But a mix of these AI technologies along with human intervention is the one which goes. You can call it out whether the mix should be 80-20, 70-30, it depends on organization to organization, category to category, but it will get evolved, it will get better and better.
So you made a very relevant point, Nikhil. I think the way the organizations are moving, the more strong your processes are, that's how, the more opportunity for chatbot, because the standard ones are easily getting resolved with all these technologies, right? And the complex ones, where there are exceptions, where the processes are not getting solved, is something where we actually need humans to resolve that. Moving to some more examples, Abiesh, you would like to talk about some from your industry.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Maybe my colleagues would have already explained to you in detail how these new CX technologies are impacting. I come from ESAF, Small Finance Bank, so I'll try to bring some examples from banking side. You at least few of you sitting here will be able to recollect what was banking 20 years back and what is now. I mean, you could not imagine 20 years back what was banking. You had to go directly to a bank, you have to meet them right from account opening or getting any deliverables. The entire scenario has changed. And more than that, one of the key difference what I have noticed is, like, compared to any other product, banking relationship is almost a lifelong relationship most of the time. And one of the key challenges people have seen is, like, sometimes the relationship managers or the branch managers get transferred and changes. And the kind of experience the customers get, suddenly they get worried. Somebody has come who do not know. I feel that is one of the key area where this artificial intelligence have come into play. The machine has learned the preferences, choices of the bank, of the customer, or their likes, dislikes, and the data is available. So irrespective, I would say banking has become, or the services have become people agnostic. It doesn't matter, people changes, relationship manager changes, still the organizations can offer the kind of experience, consistent kind of experiences. Not only that, look at the flexibility. Earlier you can do the banking or the services only during the banking hours. Now, at customer's convenience, at customer's place or time, they can have. You can open an account at midnight and you can start transacting then and there. It is not depending upon anything. Only thing, the system should be implemented properly. It should understand the needs of the customer. It should not be implemented not because my competitors or somebody else have done. Don't try to imitate others. Each industry or each organization has to understand their business, understand their customers, and implement. And I believe that will help customers, both organizations and customers, to benefit a lot.
Thank you. I think I'll move to Arindam and going to the same topic of AI, AI, generative AI, they're having a moment in a way that, everybody is talking about it. From your industry, what are some of the practical use of these, where you have used these technologies or you have witnessed, which has really given value for and brought in true experience for the customers?
Yes. See, everyone is from the different industry, but I belong from the healthcare, which is required for everyone in everyday's life. Now, when I'm talking about healthcare, I represent Woodlands Multispeciality Hospital, which is in Kolkata, and it's the first private hospital in Kolkata currently with 77 years of experience serving the community in Kolkata. So when it started, it was absolutely doctors and nurses driven hospital. There was no other people important than those two people. There was no IT department, there was no other technology into it. It was a manual thing, everything was there. Now as the time has emerged, and currently we are on the 77th year of the hospital, and it is now owned by RP Sanjeev Goenka. So you all know who is Mr. Sanjeev Goenka. So here the technology has emerged in a big way. Now, if I look at, there are two aspects where we have actually adopted this technology. In healthcare, there are two segments. One is the clinical, another is the non-clinical activity. So when I'm talking about the clinical activity, here comes your machines, the equipments, the, say for example, your 365 slice, CT scan machines, the MRI machines, your robots, which gives you a minimal access and your average length of stay of the patients gets reduced, where your experience is much better compared to any of the previous days or, 2 to 5 years back the surgery experience was. So here the new technology has come in which will give you a very specific date of discharge. So you know that when you go for a gallbladder operation or for any tumor operations, the robot actually will give you a specific timing and so minimal and so specific so that you have a less blood loss, your recovery is faster, and you can get discharged immediately after the surgery. So there is nowadays, the technology has gone to that level that your admission date and your discharge date can be defined. Number one. Number two, if I look at on the non-clinical part, there are a lot of things which we call it as a hospitality. Previously, we used to know that hospitality means hotels and restaurants and other places. But in healthcare, trust me, the hospitality plays a major role. If you say we are in a Novotel, if you ask the reservation team, here you will find the per room charge is something around 10 10,000, 12,000 something, and you get a complimentary breakfast here, right? But you go to hospital, your room, a single room charge starts from 15,000. And there is an add-on with the doctor's charges, the investigation charges, and if you have any procedure, there's an add-on. So it will come to, on an average of around 30,000 per day in expense. Now, what a patient expects? Your expectation to the patient has increased a lot. So based on that, now the technologies has come into the place. So coming back to those technologies, there are a lot of activities that on the non-clinical side has also implemented. Like, for a patient coming to an hospital, it was previously you call up a hospital, you get an appointment and all these things. Now, those days are over. Even when we do a cinema ticket from Inox, we do from our apps. Similarly, for doctor's appointment, even to the extent of your procedural cases, you can get an appointment done through an app. So what we call as Woodlands My Healthcare app, where you get specific doctors with their time slots, with the procedural activities also. If you want to book, you can go to those time slots so that you don't have to come and wait. You come exactly on the time that you want, you have the slot. So you save on waiting time, you save on other activities that you need to do for the plan for the day. So that has helped in one way. Now, if I look at the patient feedback system, which is a very, very integral part, now we always experience that what Gallup says that they gives a very real-time picture of how the customer service should be done. So the benchmarking of the industry in the healthcare is mainly done by Gallup. And we've also followed the same train. So we partnered with the Decision Lab. So what we have done the entire patient experience thing, the feedbacks. There are two types of feedbacks we take. One is the frontline feedback that's basically done through a digital platform on the tabs. That's the feedback that they give is a daily feedback. So that any issues that is being taken, they face any problems or anything, that gets solved within a very stipulated period of time, and there's an escalation matrix. So every responsible people have to close their tickets within the time. So where you ultimately you're making the patients happy and the patient relatives happy. Similarly,
So, yeah, I just got one question to ask. I mean, this is really interesting. So, since you are from the health industry, if you can just let us know, out of 10 customers, I'm just giving you a ballpark number, out of 10, how many are actually interested in getting operated through a robot or AI-based thing? What is the customer behavior there?
see, I tell you today, no one wants a pain.
Absolutely.
Wants a pain after the surgery. So I have, before coming to this program, the day before yesterday, one of my colleague had got an gallbladder operation. So previously, what you used to see that a gallbladder operation will take minimum of 7 days rest, and then you come back and do a follow-up. Trust me, that friend had an operation at 11:30 in the morning. In the evening, 5:30, he was walking on the corridor. So it was done through a robot. So do you think, and you don't it is not so expensive nowadays because your insurance is there to back up. So he got discharged on the very next day. And while going home, he texted me, "Thank you for the lovely experience that I had in the hospital," though he is working in the same hospital. So that's where that technology actually has helped us to go. And the last that we have implemented in this healthcare, and probably this is the first in healthcare in India, we have implemented the linen RFID system, which is basically that we normally handle around 30,000 pieces of linen on a daily basis. So it starts with your patient bed sheets, doctor's gown, patient dress, and everything. It's impossible to track those linen manually because we have an outsourced laundry. So again, it goes far away from our hospital. So every 30,000 pieces of linen is being stitched with a chip, which is the linen RFID, we call it. And it's something that you can track where your linens are. You can track your wash cycle. You can track even the lifespan. You can track your inventory. Even sometimes it happens the doctors or nurses have kept their uniform in their lockers, and during the day of inventory you couldn't find them. So we have a handheld device on the linen RFID reader. So on a distance of 15 feet, you can aim that particular locker and you can track what is the linen that you are. So that is one, and the other one is that we have put a fixed reader on the gate. So the soil linen and the fresh linen, whenever it goes and comes, it automatically populates in your computer as well as in the mobile. Suppose if anyone takes away the linen from, or it's called pilferage, it takes out from your hospital, it immediately bangs and rings on the particular, some specific people's mobile. So this is how you can grip entirely what your hospitality or your healthcare or technology, everything through the technologies, it's now in your hand. But again, whatever said and done, a technology can give you a direction, but the decision has to be taken by a human being. So like a doctor, when he goes for a CT scan, the machine can give you a minute to minute celled characteristics, but ultimately the decision, the diagnosis has to be done by the doctor. So
Thanks, Arindam.
So
I think,
that's what I feel.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think very relevant points there. Moving to the next one, and Mr. Natarajan, you know, I mean, if you look at the research which is carried out, the figures which are available for a chatbot market, you know, it was predicted to be for the year 2022, it was around $5,000 US. And it is further expected to expand. Now, very quickly, I mean, we just want to understand when it comes to your industry, what do you think chatbot can change for you and your organization?
Okay, thank you, Sinha. Am I audible, right? So I'd just like to give a brief background into what we do, and then we'll merge how this technology piece works for us. So I come from Shriram Finance, and originally we were Shriram Transport Finance, vehicle financing company, basically catering to the small 1 or 2 vehicle owners. Now, over the course of business, we understood that we had to have a physical presence to build a relationship with the customer. So we had 4,000 branches across the country. However, we also felt the need for technology to give a better customer experience. The customer centricity concept in Shriram Transport was so strong that we, in addition to human interface, that we have 20,000 executives on the ground to manage the customer relationships. However, to give a customer experience for better products, we had to have technology solutions. So there, I'll bring an experience of what I did as a product manager, project manager. We tied up with HPCL for fuel finance to our customers, and that was done through a technology solution where there was an API integration both with the Shriram Transport server and HPCL server. Now, the customer is given a solution to go and seamlessly transact, buy fuel at HPCL, and Shriram will pay on behalf of the customer to HPCL. Now, it was a completely technology-driven solution. HPCL, over 30 years, had enrolled 3 lakh customers. And in 1 year of the program, we had added 7 lakh customers to HPCL through Shriram partnership. Now, HPCL were very happy that they could get new customers, and all this customer acquisition and customer experience was completely digital. Now, the challenge is, the solution that we had to bring for our customers was not there with HPCL, so we had to bring a unique technology solution. That's what the technology team delivered for us. It was not a generic solution. It was a unique solution which the technology team was able to deliver. So that was a victory for the technology as a business approach. The second thing is, the efficiency of technology was not the key here. The customer whom we are catering is not a very digital savvy customer. So what happens? He's not focused on the quality of technology. He's just happy with the solution that he's getting as a service through technology. And he's very patient if technology doesn't work. And it often was a solution that, because HPCL had a very legacy system, they used to cater to a different clientele. The server had crashed. There are issues with the efficiency of service. The customer was very patient with the issues if we had. Now, this is one part of the story. Now, we had a merger within the group. We had a company called Shriram City Union, which is a B2C company, where the efficiency of the service is the key. Now, there the chatbot is more useful because the customer is already used to having chatbot with other solutions where he's more digitally savvy customer. So there the chatbot usage or application is more. So we have to look at where our businesses is, where the customer is standing in his approach to technology. I strongly feel that technology will enhance, but we have to crack the model where we stand as a business. B2B, B2C, whatever our solution be, there is a human interface part and there is a technology interface part. Now, if we as a business can crack where technology ends and where human interface starts, that is where the customer satisfaction or customer experience will be the best. It is different for everybody. However, we have to learn it from experience to build a right ratio, because without human interface, customer experience cannot be achieved, and customer centricity and you want to hold on to your customer. Customer is the key. So for a customer centric company, it is very important that you crack the right model, and it is a learning over a period of time. That is the key.
But while we keep saying that human piece is very important, but if you look at today's customer, they are very much digitally evolved. And as we all know, they want anything, anywhere, anytime. So, Sreemoyee, just moving to you, do you feel that we can, at some point in time, while it is a journey, can do away with the human piece of the customer experience?
That's a wonderful question, and something that I think we are all breaking our heads on collectively. But I really think that we are at a very nascent stage right now as far as AI is concerned. It's still learning, and thankfully these are powerful solutions, they can learn on their own. But I think that it has not yet come to that maturity where we can confidently say that yes, my chatbot will handle 100% of my chats, or my IVR will handle all of my calls. I don't think any industry at this point is that level of maturity. Also, I think there are certain issues that customers face that are at a very high distress level, right? So no IVR or no chatbot can at any point in time, kind of address those. So the human touch remains relevant to this day, and I would say, possibly take a gamble by saying that it will be relevant at least for the next decade, as all the AI solutions kind of keep honing themselves and keep improving. But if you ask me if it's ready to replace human touch, my answer is a very straight no.
I completely agree with you. And moving to the next one, all these technologies, AI, IoT and all are, making move slowly. McKinsey has found that, the company who invests in UI, UX, and they involve UI, UX in their digital strategy, those industry or those companies grow almost double the rate of their industry peers. Now, I want to understand from Mr. Srinivasan to start with, what do you think, how important is the user interface in the self-help journey of the customer?
I think it's absolutely critical. See, in our industry, many of the products are push products. So, for example, if you think about credit cards, banks would go, they would have a fleet of people, they would go and push. So, we shouldn't say it, but quite a few times it is predominantly push. Many few of the customers will actually want to come to a bank and take a credit card or some of these products. So, and the banks, if you see the experience from the point of a consumer, they are quite savvy. They're using beautiful apps like Tata's app and Zomato and Flipkart and Amazon. So their experience, their expectation is that the same thing should come from the bank as well. Now, if you think from the point of view of some of our clients, the products are fixed ahead of time. So there will be a credit card. It's a particular product in the stack. It has got a fixed number of features. So it is difficult to kind of contextualize. You can personalize the experience post the product has been sold, so you can solve the customer service aspect, but the product itself is fixed ahead of time. So I think that's where the opportunity of personalization is, and that's where the opportunity of the UX also is. So what we are actually trying to drive by building a platform, and the banks are actually basically buying our tech for this, is that the banks are able to personalize and give the option to the consumer. So the consumer goes and they are not buying product A or product B or product C. They are buying a particular range of a product, and within that product they are able to go and contextualize and personalize the services. So for example, if somebody doesn't want lounges because the lounges may be covered by 3 other cards, they may want to choose golf, or they may want to choose spa or a meet and assist. So this level of personalization of the consumer value proposition needs to be done by the consumer themselves. And the reason for that is, if I have invested time in personalizing my product, then it is my product. Otherwise, it is a product. Okay. So I think that insight is what is driving the banks to rapidly adopt and push these kind of self-service or self-selection models, where customers make it their own. Not just putting a photo on the card, but actually choosing what I want from that card.
Okay. I think you made good points. Nikhil, would you have some more different approach to how it is being led in your industry about designing a very simplistic UI where the customer stick engagement goes on? How would you, some of the examples, how you people are doing it?
Sure. So let me first respond to the beautiful technology which you use. Okay, I think it's that where you put up a chip, okay, on all those linens which you send it. Okay, I'm telling you, it will be very useful for Indian Railways and the hotel industry. Okay, seriously, you should share that best practice with them. Coming to that point, see, I think one of the important feature of UI UX is not only the look and feel of what you see it. For example, if you take an example of an app, right? It's not only the look and feel, right? It's actually more deep into it. Okay, look and feel will give you, of course, a good footfalls and good traffic. But it's more important that you focus more on certain things behind it. Let me give an example. Tata Neu app has a very important feature of brand migration. So you go to a Tata Neu app, and then you basically from Tata Neu you go to, let's say, a Chroma or a Big Basket or 1MG and so on and so forth. The transition from this Tata Neu app to those apps or to those PWAs, okay, is very important for us. And if a customer takes too long to reach that, okay, then he gets frustrated and he doesn't like the app, right? So that is one important parameter of how you have to basically bring that experience within that. The second example can be, so first of all, let me clarify, anything which technology can do it, okay. So we do not choose technology and then decide what technology can give it to us. We essentially go with what customer wants and then decide the technology what will help us, what will help that customer requirements. And I can tell you every week, okay, in our organization, right from the CEO, okay, to the leadership team, we dedicate at least 3 hours on customer experience on UI UX. Okay, just to basically see what people's feedback are, and we have ample of feedback coming from customers. Many good, something where we need to improve on, and it's been a journey, right? As I said, we launched in April last year. It's been 18 months. We have improved our app, okay, on UI UX multifold only because of the customer feedback which we have got it. And I can tell you to this audience, this comes absolutely free. People in this country are so good in providing that feedback. Okay, and you don't have to basically engage with the big top 4 big or consulting companies, okay, to get that feedback. People just give you feedback and they are so relevant. Okay, they help you to basically improve your app. Okay, and that's where the UI UX is a very important part. Okay, not only the front part of it, the back part of it.
Okay, thanks. I think really it was interesting. Moving to Mr. Mathur, see, while these emerging technologies are actually changing the world for us, right? Now, I didn't have the opportunity to check with how it is moving in your industry. And what are your views on that? How are you going to use or maybe using the technology to enhance the experience?
Sure, Archana. So basically, there are no shortage of new technologies to improve the customer experience in our industry. Just give you some examples, like if I talk about augmented reality, so we can use augmented reality to create some materials for training purpose and customer educations, wherein we can create like augmented AR-based materials to give them the insight about their portfolios and to give them the training about their investment strategies. So this can be used to create this kind of augmented reality-based systems.
Okay.
Secondly, we can also use AR for scanning the documents, financial literatures, and we can provide their portfolio insights based on the augmented reality. Secondly, if I talk about voice assistant, so now we are working on voice assistant to allow our customers to execute their trades using voice assistant, to get stock prices using voice commands. So this is how we are using voice assistant in our system.
Okay.
And thirdly, yes, cloud architecture is also playing important role in our system. So basically, we are using cloud infrastructure to strengthen our IT infrastructure to make it more stable, more steady, and scalable. And yes, cloud is also playing important role for analyzing our customers' large data sets to provide them personalized services based on studying their historical data, historical trading behaviors, their trading patterns. So this is how these new technology ways are coming into pictures to improve the customer experience using the entire set of new technologies.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mathur. Arindam, very quickly, within 60 seconds, okay, I just got to know that before this panel discussion, you guys had a very heavy breakfast. So I'm taking the opportunity to just take this for further 5 minutes, and we will wind this up. Arindam, any incremental point over what, or maybe, how it is being used for your industry while you explain in detail, but any incremental point which you have?
So the latest one that we had done is not for the patients, it's for the doctors. Because we believe that if our internal customers are happy, then we can make our any patients happy. So what we have done for the doctors is, the doctors, how much you pressurize them, they won't leave the prescription to be written by their hand, but that takes time. So we have made them to do like voice to text.
Wow.
So now the doctors doesn't have to write anything in the prescription, so whatever they speak out, it is automatically texted and it comes as a digital prescription, and that is being transferred to all the channels. Like if their doctor says there is a investigation, so it automatically lands up to the investigation department. So there is no leakage of any investigations happening. If it goes to any medicines prescribed, so it goes immediately to the pharmacy. So pharmacy knows that how many prescriptions are coming to him on a daily basis. Accordingly, so there is a internal tracking and as well as also making the doctors happy.
So Arindam, I think it's really interesting. At least now we will not have to break our head against doctors' handwriting with that coming in, because that's generally a challenge for the patients.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Now the last one, and this is about. See, we spoke about so many technologies and we want to really implement for our organizations, but it's not that easy. What are some of the roadblocks and challenges which we have witnessed for our organizations? And I would like to understand this from Mr. Natarajan, from you, and Abiesh, you can also contribute.
Yeah, I think the challenge is in terms of B2B, technology has to build a unique solution where the human interface part is the key, because in B2B, human relationships, ensure that the customer is with us, and technology plays a support role, and technology helps to give him a better customer experience. However, on B2C, where I'd also like to know how they are doing with the super app, because we are also going to launch a super app in a couple of months, and where there the B2C customer experience part comes, where the efficiency and quality of technology in terms of its efficiency and lack of bugs or issues should not be there. So there the efficiency of the technology matters. Now, how the technology guy will ensure that within my super app, where there is a B2B customer coming in and there is a B2C customer coming in, how does the customer, the same question again, whether the clutter is there in the app is so clutterized that the guy gets confused how to go and approach for what the product he's looking for. Now, I'll give you an example of search engines. When Google came in first, the page was so clutter-free. Before that, the search engines were full of material. But now, when Google came in, it ensured that the customer preferred Google because they gave a new customer experience. So, obviously, in terms of super app also, it's the same issue.
Okay, Abiesh?
Yeah, having heard about customer experience using technologies, my understanding is giving great customer experience is not an easy task. It is difficult, but it is not impossible. Maybe first point what I would say, some of the challenges is clearly understanding your customer needs. If you go by theoretical studies, you will end up in assumptions, and implementing the technologies can fail you. Secondly, finding out the right partners and the right solutions for your company. Otherwise, again, it will take you to a wrong path. Maybe quickly, since I don't have time, I'm just putting quickly. One of the key factors, what I've seen is like time to market. By the time you study, research a technology and try to implement, if it is taking too long, the technology would have become obsolete. Then you would have to start all over again. And finally, one of the key point or one of the key challenges, I don't think great customer experience is possible without great employee experience. Yes, technologies are there, but without great employee experience. So I strongly believe organizations should focus on building great employee experience. Only then the customer experience can come. So these are, I believe, some of the quick points. Yes, I do have, but our time is lacking.
Thank you so much. I'll take just 60 more seconds to sum up this entire conversation. I think we all agree that technology are really, various kind of technologies are helping us enhancing the customer experience. But some of the very, very major issues which are being faced by the organization, like scalability. So for example, if I talk about Jio, we have more than 450 million customers in mobility, 10 million in Jio Fiber. With this kind of scale, it's really very cost effective, at the same time instant for the customers to go in for digital channels and self-help channels. That's one. Also, the point of ensuring the speed to the resolution is something which is being resolved through this technology. Yes, I completely agree with some of the panelists when they said that we are in the process and human piece is also integral. But slowly we can experience that this gap of human to machine is slowly being covered higher by machine, and more simplification of processes which we are doing. I think it is bringing in more value for the organizations and for the customers. 30 more seconds just to conclude. Use of user interface in the most simplistic way is the way towards true experience. While we focus so much on the technology, making very simple user interface will bring in higher engagements, and that will resolve a lot of issues for the customer on the self-help. Thank you so much for joining. I thanks all the panelists for their inputs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for wonderfully summing it up, Archana. I think great panel session. And ladies and gentlemen, again, one more time, a big round of applause for this wonderful panel, CX-led digital transformation, becoming future ready. And wonderfully, discussed panel session and greatly moderated by Archana. But panel members and moderator, I would request you to kindly be on stage, and I would like to call on stage Mr. Sandeep Kumar, Executive Director from Deloitte, to kindly do the honors of felicitating this wonderful panel. Thank you, Sandeep, for doing the honors. We'll start with Mr. Mathur from LKP Securities. A big round of applause to Mr. Mathur Vadadoriya, CTO from LKP Securities. Mathurji, thank you so much for your insights in this panel session. Moving next to Mr. Arindam De Sarkar, DGM Service Excellence in Hospitality from Woodlands Multispeciality Hospital. Thank you so much, Arindam ji, for your wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving to Ms. Sreemoyee Dastidar, COE Lead Customer Experience from Philips. Thank you so much, Sreemoyee, for your wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving next to Mr. Nikhil Asopa, Senior Vice President and Head of Customer Service, Tata Digital. Thank you so much, Nikhil, for that wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving next to Mr. NATARAJAN PONNUSWAMY, General Manager, Shriram Finance. Thank you so much, Natarajan ji, for your wonderful contribution in the panel. Moving on to Mr. Abiesh Jose, Head of Customer Service Quality, ESAF Small Finance Bank. Thank you so much, Mr. Jose, for your wonderful contribution in the panel session. Moving next to Mr. Balaji Srinivasan, Executive Director and Chief Technology Officer from DreamFolks. Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivasan, for your wonderful contribution in the panel. And now our honorable moderator for the panel session, Ms. Archana Sinha, Customer Experience Lead for Home Business, Geo Platforms. Archana wonderfully moderated the panel session. Thank you so much, Archana. Would request all the panel members to kindly step forward for a group photo, and Sandeep ji, if you could also join them. A big round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen, for this fantastic panel of experts. Thank you so much, all the panel members, for your wonderful contribution in the session. And thank you so much, Sandeep ji, for doing the honors. That was, ladies and gentlemen, Customer Experience-led Digital Transformation Becoming Future Ready panel session, and a great session that we had here.